The way that this conversation started was around an appointment in the White House, and it has kind of turned into now a multi-date debate. What has this debate told you about the state of the current coalition and the conservative movement?
I think that it's funny. I've just been writing about this. I think that listen, we have a new coalition within the Republican Party that Donald Trump built in 2024. It is very working class. We have seen overseas people build new coalitions that give them governing majorities. We just saw it in the UK when they had Brexit, and Boris Johnson built this fabulously large conservative party organization of working class people to achieve Brexit. The people wanted lower levels of immigration. The Tories did not, and so the Tories were thrown out. If tech bros who did not like the trans stuff or the woke stuff or the taxes or whatever they did not like, that or crime in the cities, whatever they didn't like that brought them to the Republican Party, if they believe that that means they can remake the Republican Party or the MAGA Party or the Donald Trump coalition in their image, they are being extremely naive, because the genuine consensus from Americans is there has been too much immigration and we need to have lower limits. That means we discriminate against people from certain regions of the country or, race or religion or whatever. It just means we need lower levels. We need to take a me time, a pause in some capacity. We bring in over 1 million people per year, the most generous nation in the world as far as refugees go and asylum seekers. We need some me time to work on our Americans who have been suffering because of the Biden administration. And by the way, before that, on the Obama administration. I mean, it's been 16 years out of the last 12 years out of the last 16 of Democrat control, and it hasn't always worked out. So I think that really taking a pause, taking a me time from a constant overflow of people wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. And if anyone thinks they're going to change that because they have money or a social media platform or a podcast or whatever the case is, they are very, very, very mistaken. And telling Americans, sorry, you're too fat and like the wrong people and you're too lazy and you rooted for Screech over Slater on Saved by the Bell from 35 years ago is really not a winning message to politicians and to people who aspire to run for president again.
So, yeah, in closing here, this was an obvious fault line when you and I we saw this 6 months ago. I had a call yesterday from somebody who, very high up tech leader, and he said, Charlie, a year and a half ago, you told me that the base of MAGA wants zero legal immigration. He said, I had never heard that from anybody until you said that to me. And now he's looking through Twitter and he's like, that seems to be the consensus view. How is that possible that they seem as if they're so bothered that this would even be an opinion that is espoused or articulated?
Because in most parts of the country, they still live in the 1950s. They live in single-family homes in neighborhoods that are over demographically one or two two racial demographics in very good schools. They don't live in the rest of America. In closing, in 2020, there was a Cato. Cato was open borders, 100%. They did a study, they did a poll, and it was like 44% of Americans wanted a 90% reduction in illegal immigration. It was like 75% wanted a 50% cut in illegal immigration. And among the Republican base, and that was before Biden. That was all before the Biden invasion. Right now, it's got to be close to 90% of Republicans and probably over 60% of independents say we need a pause. And if this moment did anything besides making them realize that, hey, they're not giving up just because, we won the election or they like Elon Musk now or they like whoever, whatever the case may be. They really feel this, and this has to be achieved in some way in order to make the base feel like they're voting for Trump and putting everything on line for Trump meant something.